They couldn't kill me, so they sealed me inside a newborn baby and hoped I'd rot. That was 40 years ago. 4 decades, trapped in a cage of flesh and bone.
Now an old man in a wheelchair stares at his own hands, unaware of the ancient evil coiled inside him.
That baby grew up, got married, had children, and grew old.
His name is Sora. He is 65 years old. His heart is failing and the doctors say he has maybe a day.
And I was awake for every single second of it. Watching, waiting.
For 40 years, the demon has been forced to witness every moment of this ordinary life. Every birthday, every argument, every quiet evening.
Every laugh, every tear. I saw it all.
He dies tomorrow.
And when he does, I get out.
40 years ago, the 5 Kages stood over a newborn in a hidden ritual chamber.
We cannot kill the demon, so we will imprison him. Let his hatred fade with the boy's life.
They called it mercy. A slow, humane execution stretched across a mortal lifespan.
I felt the chains wrap around my soul, dragging me into the body of an infant.
The seal burned into the baby's skin, binding demon to child in an unbreakable curse.
I screamed, but no sound came. I was already a prisoner inside a wailing infant.
They named the boy Sora, an orphan with no family, no history, only a monster sleeping in his soul.
They thought I would fade, that a humble human life would erase me.
But a demon does not forget. A demon does not forgive. And so, the demon Yoshihiro began his 40-year vigil, waiting for the day the seal would break. The child grew. He ran through sunlit fields, laughed with friends, and never knew the demon chained inside him.
Such a fragile, oblivious creature. It disgusts me.
Teenage years brought louder laughter, first crushes, and scraped knees, all beneath a monster's silent gaze.
These fleeting joys, they mean nothing. I have witnessed empires rise and fall.
One day, Sora sat beneath a tree, crying alone after a schoolyard taunt. It was a small human pain.
Even his tears are weak. He weeps for words, not for the horrors I have known.
Yet the boy always stood back up. He shared his lunch, helped an old woman, and smiled through his bruises.
Kindness. How pathetic. As if the universe cares for such trivial gestures.
But Sora's quiet goodness was real, a light the demon could not comprehend, only despise.
Hate is all I have. Hate is all I will ever need. When I am free, this world will burn.
Sora was 20 when he met Hana. Cherry blossoms fell like gentle snow, and for a moment, even the demon paused.
What is this? This insignificant flutter in his chest. It disgusts me.
They walked together, shared dreams, and whispered promises. Yoshihiro was forced to hear every word.
Sora, you are so kind. I feel safe with you.
Safe? As if anyone can shield another from the abyss of this world.
A year later, beneath a floral arch, they exchanged rings. Sora's hands trembled with joy.
I will cherish you, Sora, in every season of our lives.
Cherish? How many vows have I watched shatter? Love is a fleeting lie.
They sealed their union with a kiss. For an instant, the demon felt something twist within him, but he drowned it in contempt.
This changes nothing. I am the same hatred. When I break free, this world will scream.
Months later, Hana gave birth to a son. Sora held the tiny bundle, tears streaming down his face.
Welcome to the world, Takeshi. I promise to protect you with everything I have.
Another mewling infant. He weeps as if this fragile sack of flesh is a miracle.
Sora worked long hours, but each evening he returned to Hana and the baby, tired but smiling, in the park. Sora tossed his giggling son high into the air. The boy's laughter rang across the field.
Everything I do is for you and your mother. I'd give my life for your happiness.
Treasure? He speaks of treasure when I have seen real power. Yet, Why does this scene unsettle me?
The demon's hatred remained a constant fire, but tonight the flames flickered with an unfamiliar cold.
This is nothing. Just another weak human moment. I will not be softened by it.
And yet, deep within the seal, a single chain had loosened. The demon did not notice. One evening, raised voices echoed from the kitchen. Bills had piled up, and Sora had come home late again.
You promised to be home for Takeshi's school play. He waited for you, Sora.
I had to finish a delivery. I am doing this for us. Hana, there's never enough money.
There it is, the great human love, crumbling over coins and clocks. Pathetic.
Later that night, Sora sat alone at his desk, head in his hands. The demon's shadow loomed, but the man didn't see.
I am sorry I snapped. I just miss you. We all do.
I know. I'll make it right. Tomorrow, I'll take Takeshi to the park. I promise.
They forgive so easily, as if this wound has already healed. But I don't understand why I still watch.
That night, the couple held each other in the dark. In the seal, a second chain strained, barely audible.
I am not moved. I am merely observing. That is all.
Hannah grew pale. The doctor said it was her heart, a slow fading with no cure.
Please, Hana. Just a little more soup. You need your strength.
This is the end of his little happiness. Good. He deserves to suffer.
One rainy night, Hana's breathing slowed. She took Sora's hand, her fingers cold.
Sora, thank you for giving me a life full of love. Take care of Takeshi.
Don't leave me, please, Hana. I can't do this alone.
Why is there a weight in my chest? This is not my grief. She is nothing to me.
Her hand fell limp. Sora buried his face against her still chest, shoulders shaking.
I should be rejoicing. Then, why does this human's pain echo inside me like a wound?
In the rain, Sora stood alone over a fresh grave. The demon, for the first time, felt truly empty. Years passed. Sora grew thin and gray, his only companion a framed photo of Hana.
Still here, Hana. I still talk to you, even if you can't answer.
All those years of anger. And now this silence. Why does it gnaw at me?
Then, Takeshi brought his own daughter, Yuki, to visit. The girl ran straight into Sora's arms.
Grandpa, read me a story. The one with the dragon.
Of course, Little Blossom. A long time ago, there was a princess and a brave knight.
That laugh. It's like a shard of light in this eternal darkness. I despise how it makes me feel.
Day after day, the girl returned. She brought drawings, songs, and a love that asked nothing in return.
She doesn't know a monster watches her, but I almost wish I could protect her from the darkness.
Sora's last years were brightened by Yuki, and the demon, in his chains, learned the shape of a quiet, human joy. Sora collapsed while planting flowers. By morning, he lay in a hospital bed, machines beeping around him.
The seal is unraveling. 40 years of waiting. And now the chains are mere threads. I should be ecstatic. My freedom is hours away. But this heaviness, what is it?
His family gathered. Takeshi, gripping the bed rail, little Yuki sobbing against her father's chest.
Such a small, fragile creature. So why does her crying make something twist inside me?
The doctors said he might not last the night. The seal's magic flickered, a dying candle.
I have imagined this moment 1,000 times. Destruction, vengeance. Not this silence.
The chains are crumbling, links turning to dust. But it isn't his power breaking them, it's Sora's mortality.
What have I become? A demon, hesitating to escape. That girl has done something to me.
Sora's heart fluttered. And in the depths, Yoshihiro felt something inside him crack. Not the seal, but something deeper. Far from the hospital, in a hidden council chamber, 5 shinobi felt a tremor in the seal.
The demon's bindings are failing. 40 years of peace, and now he stirs again.
A glowing map showed 4 energy signatures converging on a single point, the hospital where Sora lay.
Mobilize immediately. We will contain him by any means necessary. This time, no mercy.
The Kages had always known this day would come. They had prepared a contingency, a sealing squad on standby.
The host is dying. When the boy's heart stops, the demon will emerge, and we must be there.
4 elite shinobi raced across rooftops, their destination set. No warning, no negotiation, only suppression. The Kage leader remained behind, his fingers steepled. He had seen the demon's fury firsthand. The hospital was silent, except for the beeping monitors. Outside, shadows gathered, unseen. The stage was set. The demon's freedom hung by a thread, and Steel was about to meet ancient rage in the hospital room. Takeshi and Yuki sat beside Sora's bed, their hope a fragile shield against the inevitable.
Grandpa, you'll come home soon, right? We can plant flowers again, just like we promised.
Sora's eyelids fluttered. He tried to smile, but his body was a cage of pain, and the demon within stirred.
Don't listen to her. She's a child who knows nothing of the abyss waiting to swallow him.
He'll be okay. Yuki, Grandpa's the strongest man I know. He always bounces back.
But the heart monitor told a different story. Each beep came more erratic, a countdown no one could stop.
I've waited so long to be free. But why does this grief feel like my own? I despise this weakness.
Sleep, gentle heart. The night will pass, like Mommy used to sing.
That lullaby. Hana sang it to him decades ago. Now this child's voice tears through me like a blade.
Outside, the Kages were closing in. But inside the room, an ancient hate wavered against a child's innocent love. A sound like shattering glass filled the room. Dark energy bled from Sora's chest, cracking the seal that bound the demon.
At last, the chains snap. My power surges back after 4 decades of silence.
Grandpa, something's wrong. Dad, he's glowing.
Takeshi threw himself in front of Yuki, shielding her with his body as the monstrous aura expanded.
I can feel my form returning. Claws, horns, the ancient fire. I could burn this room to ash.
Please, Mr. Shadow, don't hurt my grandpa. He's all I have.
The demon's red eyes met Yuki's tear-streaked face. For a heartbeat, the crackling energy paused.
That child. She's not afraid of me, but for the old man. Why does her plea echo inside my chest?
The demon's shadow loomed over the room, claws half-formed, but it did not strike.
Why can't I move? This is my moment, my vengeance. Yet all I see is a little girl's tears.
Decades of memories flooded the demon. Every laugh, every tear, every quiet kindness he had scorned.
The boy weeping alone under a tree. That weakness I mocked. But he stood up again.
He saw Sora, feeding a stray cat, smiling even in his own poverty.
The wedding kiss. Hana's joy. I called it a fleeting lie. Now I see the truth. It was real.
The moment Hana's hand went limp, I thought it meant nothing. But I felt that emptiness too.
This child's tears. They are not for me. They are for him, the man I despised.
Yuki reached out, her small fingers trembling, not in fear of the demon, but in hope.
Something inside me is breaking. Not the seal. Something I didn't know I had.
A single dark tear traced down the demon's cheek. For the first time in 40 years, he mourned.
I never wanted his life. But now I would give anything to have lived it myself.
Yoshihiro's gaze shifted from the weeping girl to the fading old man on the bed. A decision hardened in his burning eyes.
All my revenge. For what? This life was not mine to take. His was a gift I never understood.
The swirling dark energy around his form stilled. With a heavy step, he moved toward Sora. Takeshi's arm tightened around Yuki, but he didn't dare move. The creature before them was beyond mortal power.
40 years, I raged against him. Now I see. He taught me more than all my centuries of hate.
Bowing his horned head, the ancient demon lowered himself. One knee, then the other, until he knelt beside the bed. Sora's eyes fluttered open, clouded but aware. He saw the monstrous figure, yet felt no fear.
You, the shadow I always felt. Are you finally free?
No one spoke. The only sound was the heart monitor's steady rhythm, counting down the final moments.
Let him see. Let my first words in 40 years be the only thing worth saying.
The demon's cracked lips parted, voice scraping like stone on stone after 4 decades of silence.
Thank you for letting me see it.
Sora's clouded eyes widened, a flicker of something beyond pain, recognition, perhaps even peace. Perhaps even peace.
You were the shadow I always felt. So you are not a curse after all.
He knew. All along, he felt my hatred and still lived with such grace.
With immense effort, Sora raised his hand a few inches from the blanket, reaching toward the kneeling demon. Their fingers did not touch. The demon was still intangible, but the gesture bridged an abyss of hatred.
Then, it wasn't wasted. My life, it mattered.
It was everything.
The heart monitor beeped slowly. In the hush, a demon and a dying man shared a truth no words could carry. Sora's hand fell limp onto the white sheet. The heart monitor let out a single endless tone. The flat line echoed through the room, a cold, unbroken note that swallowed every other sound.
Grandpa! No, please, wake up. You promised we'd plant flowers again.
It's over, Yuki. He's with Grandma now.
Sora's face had relaxed. The faintest smile lingered, as if he had simply slipped into a peaceful dream.
He is gone. The body I was chained to. Empty. So why does my own heart feel hollow?
The kneeling demon did not move. His head remained bowed, as if frozen in that single moment of reverence.
He smiled at the end. I saw it. Grandpa wasn't scared.
He found peace. That's all we ever wanted for him.
The family wept, and the demon, an ancient terror who had sworn to burn the world, mourned a man he had hated for 40 years. Slowly, the demon rose to his feet. The weight of centuries seemed to settle, but his eyes held a new clarity.
They cannot see me now. Their grief is too deep. It is better this way.
He passed through the mourners like a whisper of wind, and the door swung shut behind him. In the corridor stood 4 shinobi in Kage robes, their weapons drawn and crackling with restrained chakra. They had come to contain him, to seal him again at any cost. Their faces were hardened masks, but Yoshihiro did not assume a battle stance. He simply stood, his hands at his sides, his horns catching the fluorescent light.
I have no desire to fight. The hatred that fueled me has vanished, leaving only a question.
The Kage leader's eyes widened, his grip on his blade faltering. This was not the demon he remembered. For a long moment, no one moved. The only sound was the distant hum of the hospital and the silent echo of Sora's name. Then the ancient demon spoke, his voice rough but steady, the words that would undo the Kage's world.
I will not fight you. Seal me again. Put me inside another newborn child.
The corridor fell into stunned silence. Even the hum of the hospital seemed to hold its breath.
You would choose imprisonment after 40 years of hatred.
He doesn't understand. 40 years ago, I was a monster. Now I've been shown a life worth living.
Another Kage stepped forward, his voice trembling. It must be a trick. The demon cannot be trusted.
It is no trick. I want to see another life. I want to learn what Sora taught me, again and again.
We have no infant prepared. The ritual requires a newborn.
But the Kage leader's objection was not a refusal. It was a logistical question. The thought had already shifted after a long pause. The leader nodded. We will find one, and we will seal you again, by your own request. Within the ancient ritual chamber, The Kage leader raised his hands. The air thickened with chakra. A newborn orphan lay swaddled on the altar. His cries were the only sound, but the demon did not resist.
40 years ago, I raged against these bonds. Now I welcome them as a path forward.
The sealing light wrapped around his colossal form, not as chains, but as a gentle embrace.
Thank you, Sora. I will carry your kindness into the next life.
His monstrous silhouette dissolved into motes of light, flowing into the tiny body on the altar. A new seal bloomed on the infant's forehead, identical to the one Sora bore, but now pulsing with a gentle, steady glow. The Kages gathered around the crib, their expressions caught between ancient duty and newfound wonder. No one spoke. The child cooed softly, unaware of the ancient spirit now resting within. Thus, the cycle began anew, not as a punishment, but as a promise. Yoshihiro would live again to learn what Sora taught. A gentle breeze stirred the meadow as Takeshi and Yuki approached Sora's gravestone.
Dad, when Grandpa died, I saw a shadow. A sad shadow that whispered sorry.
A shadow? Maybe it was just the darkness of that moment. You were very brave.
No, it was real. And I think it really was sorry. Because it let him smile at the end.
Takeshi placed fresh flowers before the stone. The name Sora gleamed in the afternoon sun.
He lived a simple life, but he taught us that kindness is the strongest power of all.
I'll never forget him. I'll plant flowers every year, just like he taught me.
They stood a while longer, then walked home together, their shadows long in the gentle light. The world continued, unaware of the ancient spirit, now beginning a new voyage within another soul. Cherry petals drifted on the wind, carrying a whisper of gratitude that would echo for a lifetime. The child grew, unaware of the ancient soul nestled within, a quiet boy in a sunlit garden, chasing butterflies with clumsy joy. He stumbled and laughed, scraped his knee and cried, and rose again with a resilience that felt eerily familiar.
I remember another boy who wept under a tree. This one's tears are no different, yet my heart does not scorn them.
He fed a stray cat, and the demon watched, not with contempt, but with a patient, ancient curiosity. Every kindness, every small cruelty he endured, every bedtime story, each moment was a new lesson in the craft of being human.
Sora's gift was not his goodness alone, but the chance to witness it. I am still watching, and now I am grateful.
He made friends, discovered first love, tasted heartbreak, and through it all, the ancient passenger remained, a silent student of mortality.
I do not know where this path leads, or if I will ever be free, but freedom is no longer my desire. Understanding is.
The seal held, not as a prison, but as a bridge between two souls, one learning to live, one learning to love. And so the cycle turned, not toward darkness, but toward the quiet, stubborn light, but toward. The hospital room was empty now, the wheelchair still beside the window where afternoon light slanted in. No mourners remained, only the faint scent of cherry blossoms and a silence heavy with meaning. In the glass, a single red eye reflected for a moment, ancient, patient, no longer hungry for vengeance. 40 years ago, a demon had screamed into this room with hatred. Now only gratitude remained, silent and profound. Sora had not defeated the monster with power. He had unmade it with a lifetime of small, stubborn kindnesses. The sun dipped low, painting the hospital in gold and shadow. The world turned, unaware, yet somehow lighter. Somewhere, a baby cried his first breath, the seal a gentle pulse on his forehead, a soul within watching curiously. The cycle had not been broken, but rewritten. Not a cage for a monster, but a classroom for a soul. The red eye in the window blinked once, slowly, and then it was gone, vanished into the fading light like a promise kept. And the cherry blossoms continued to fall, as they always had, carrying the echo of a demon's gratitude on the wind.